Random thoughts. In this video, I'm going to talk about the original Kenyans. But before I talk about that, I'm going to react to a few things that have come up from the video that I did, the last video where I talked about the Agikuyu not coming from Congo. And there are people, of course, who are telling me, yeah, they came from Congo. There is all this literature that says that they came from Congo. But most people making those comments are falling for this thing of Bantu people. There is nothing like Bantu people. There are Bantu speakers. And in fact, there is no serious scholar who writes down Bantu people. They don't exist. Just go and look at any document you can find that is official, is an academic paper or something. There is nothing like Bantu people. There is Bantu speakers. You'll always see them write Bantu speakers. And there's a reason why they say Bantu speakers is because it's about the language. People are mixing up or people are thinking that linguistic classification translates to genetic classification. I've said this so many times. It does not. There is no serious document that will write Bantu people or Cushitic people or Nilotic people. It is Bantu speakers. You go check again. It's speakers, and it's for a reason. The reason is that it is about linguistics. Now, somebody tells me language and genetics go together. There is somebody who made that comment. Not actually, because if you are saying that, then are you telling me, for example, a Somali who was born in Mombasa doesn't speak Somali language but speaks Swahili as their first language? What does that make them? Does that then make them Bantu because Swahili is a Bantu language? No. It makes them Bantu speaker, not a Bantu person. Another misunderstanding that most people have, most people think that the era we are living in is special, is exceptional. There is that. People think we are living in an exceptional era. There is nothing exceptional about this era. Every generation has thought that their era is exceptional. There's nothing exceptional about our era. And I'm saying that in regard to thinking that the way language is being transferred today is not the way it has been transferred for thousands of years. It's not the way language has moved for thousands of years. Empires have emerged and people have been conquered and they have been forced to adopt a new language, or they found a new language to be more interesting than their own language. People have done business and moved language from one part to another. That has happened. That's how it has happened for thousands of years. But some people think that yes, today there are people who are born in Kenya, for example, and they adapt or they take Swahili as their first language, while parents and grandparents spoke a different language. That's a new thing. That's happening now. It has never happened before. So that we assume, or when they say the Bantu languages moved from somewhere in Congo to East Africa, it automatically means people actually moved. Not necessarily. There is a room there that actually is the languages that moved, not the people. Yeah, there is. I'm not denying that there is a component of people moving with the language. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not denying that. But I'm also careful, or I'm also trying to understand that language moves without the people often. Language moves without the people, and language is adopted or embraced by people who spoke a different language, and languages are dropped. That happens. That has happened for thousands of years. So to think that what is happening right now, where Africans are speaking English as their first language, that's exceptional in this generation, that has never happened before, that there has never been a time in human history where a population has dropped languages and adopted new languages. That's what these people are arguing. They are arguing from the point of thinking of exceptionalism of this generation. There's nothing exceptional about our generation. For thousands of years, same thing has happened about languages. Now let's come to the original Kenyans. Now, there are people who are considered to be that they were here before anybody else was here, which is a theory actually, but these people exist, and maybe they were here before anyone else was here, or they were a different group that was prominent at some point, but they are no longer that prominent. And these people are called different names in different Kenyan communities. I'm interested to know what you call them in your own community. I never thought that these people were known by the Luo or the Luo had them until somebody pointed it out. I was trying to find where somebody gave me that information. I could not find it. It was in a comment section, and he gave me names that the Luos used to call these people. But I know them being recognized by the Kikuyu people, and the Kikuyu people call them the Athi people, and that's where Athi River comes from, the name, actually. And I think the camp also used to call them Athi people. And Kikuyus used also to say that they were maybe related to Agumba people, or they were descendants of the Agumba people, something of sorts. And today, those people did not disappear. They exist in Kenya. They exist among the Kikuyus, and they are part of the Kikuyu identity today. They were not Kikuyus, they were Athi, they were Agumba people, but they dropped their languages and they adopted Kikuyu language and they became Kikuyu people. And the same people exist among the Maasai. And the Maasai, in the Maasai land, they are called the Ndorobo people or the El Kunono people, even though sometimes it's considered El Kunono is different from the Ndorobo, but they are kind of like the same people. Now, the same case has happened in Maasai land. Today, if you go in Maasai land, you could actually be shown households of people who are Ndorobo people. They exist. But here's the funny thing. You can only find the very old speaking the language that they used to speak. The younger generation, maybe my age, and even a little bit older than me, maybe people in their 50s, they don't know their language. And they will tell you, we don't know. I only heard my great-grandparents speaking that language. They no longer speak it. The language disappeared. And they embrace the Maasai language as their own language now. The same people exist among the Kalenjin, and they are called the Okiek people. Now, the Okiek, the same thing has happened among the Kalenjin. They used to have their language that they used to speak. And if you find one and you talk to them, they will actually tell you, yeah, my great-grandparent or my grandparent used to speak that language, but my parents don't know the language, I don't know the language, but I know that there was a language that we used to speak. So the Okiek had their own language, but today they speak Kalenjin. That's their language now. That's their only language, of course, like Swahili and English now. And these people, as I've told you, I've been told they existed among the Luo. They said what they were called among the Luo. And if you are a Luo, especially Roy Frederick, I know you are very conversant with these matters. You can let me know in the comment section. And also, I would love to know how these people are called among the Luya and among other groups or other communities in Kenya, how these people were actually called. This again is an example because these people were not eliminated. Like they did not die off. These people still exist. But what happened? They were assimilated into these communities I'm talking about. They were assimilated. The Adi were assimilated into Kikuyu culture and Kikuyu identity. The Ndorobo were assimilated into the Maasai and the Samburu culture. The El Kunono, the same, the Maasai and the Samburu culture, our identity. And the Okiek, the Kalenjin identity. Now, here's the thing. That's not something that happened just maybe, this has happened in the last maybe 200 years. But the point is, this has always happened. That's the point I'm trying to bring out. So the Kenyans you see today, the Kenyans, including yourself, you are a Kenyan. You carry genes that come from very diverse groups of people. Very diverse groups of people. Now, let me say something that also came up in the comment section of the last video, and this is the issue of DNA. Number one, DNA is a very recent tool, and it's a very effective tool, actually. I'm not saying it's very effective, and we are going to learn a lot about human relationships through DNA technology. It's now, the technology is very advanced, and it's becoming even cheaper now to do things. Then people are pointing out that there's something called haplogroup, and people are bringing it up a lot when they say, oh, there's this group is Bantu, there's haplogroup, whatever, that shows that they are Bantu. And initially when this used to be brought up, I used to I didn't know how to respond to it because I didn't know much about it. But I did go back and try to read as much as I could about this haplogroup thing. And I'm not a scientist, so there is room for error, of course, in my understanding. I need to give that. But one thing that became very clear, this haplogroup thing does not align as people think with the languages. It does not. If you take the haplogroup map of Africa and you take the map of Africa of the languages, Bantu, whatever, it doesn't match as people think. And here's a very interesting that I realized. I realized that this thing is not either or. This thing is a spectrum. The haplogroup thing is a spectrum, actually. So if you find one type of haplogroup, it is a spectrum. From most to least. There's nothing like these people have it and these people don't have it. No, it's like these people have a lot of it, these people have the least of it. Or that's how it works, according to my understanding after going through reading a few documents. So the upload group thing is overrated, is overhyped when it comes to grouping of Africans. So tell me what these original Kenyans are called in your community. Those are my random thoughts.